Happy Thanksgiving. We are cooking up everything you need to know for all your family fun holiday activities today, but it won't be all pumpkin and spice and everything nice. We have newly named Winter Storm Kate looking for a seat at the dinner table. Look at all of this snow into the Rockies. We've got a lot of it, a foot or more in the coming days. And just like that, we are going to spread out here. We can't forget the main dish, and we are talking about our holiday tradition, Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. We'll have a live report coming up from the route. Welcome into America's Morning Headquarters. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Abrams alongside meteorologist Reynolds Wolf and Lynette Charles. Let's start with Lynette and the rain and snow.
All right, yeah, we got to do
through TSA, like turkey, pies, cakes, nothing that's liquid, so you couldn't bring the gravy. But what you can do is you can freeze it, and so long as it's frozen and rock solid, you can get it through. Because I've done that with juices, where you just have it absolutely solid frozen. Usually swipe it or whatever and put it in the little machine, but you can get it through. All right, how are we going to get through this? Our newly named winter storm. We could see 2 feet of snow. Phenomenal news for the ski resorts. I was looking up a bunch of ski resorts here yesterday, and a lot of them are open, but it's like just a couple runs, maybe 3 or 4 out of all of them that they have. So there are a few runs open. I know that Thanksgiving Day is also a big opening day for a lot of them too. And what is the recipe for snow? Cold air, which we've got here, and moisture, which we've got a big jet that's coming in. You can see, I want you to first look at this graphic. You have the jet coming up, diving south, and making its way eastbound. And within that is the trough. And you can actually see all of this happening. You see the big trough that is swinging in from the west. So the jet diving up, coming down, and then bringing in some of that moisture. And then there is the trough associated with it. That's coming east. That's going to help give us some lift. So there's your snow just starting. Nothing too heavy. It's a white Thanksgiving into Billings and Jackson, even Bismarck, maybe a couple flakes coming on down. This is all going to get more robust as we head through the day, and it's going to make its way down 15, down 75, crossing over 70, and it is going to fill in as well. Denver, we've had about, I think about like 7.5 inches of snow so far this year, but a lot of places need it actually. It's quite dry here. So this will be much needed, well needed snow. The problem is it's going to be quite cold, 20 to 30 degrees below average. And by the way, the below average temperatures spread through the northern tier. So today our highs, Denver, our average high is 50 degrees. We're at 39, and then tomorrow morning into the teens. So it'll be really cold, and then we'll be half what we typically should be for this time of year. So that just gives you an idea in the region of just how cold it is out there. 20s and 30s for our highs across the board. Reynolds, this is going to be shifting through the Great Lakes and into the Northeast as well.
Absolutely like to follow there.
Crosses the country, and a lot of people trying to get home Friday, Saturday, as we head into our Sunday, maybe even into our Monday. And I don't know that this is going to slow travel tremendously, because it's not like we're going to see loads of precip come in, but it's still, when you get low visibility and all those issues, then it can really kind of slow things down. Both models have really just kind of light snow coming in for us. So Sunday morning, if you're traveling up and down the East Coast, you're good. First flight out, no problem. As we head into the evening hours, that's when we see the rain and the snow come in, and that's when things could maybe get a little more delayed. So I would say try to change your flight, but I feel like they are all packed. It's a little messy as we continue into our Sunday evening and even into our Monday morning, especially here into the Boston area, maybe also a little bit on the breezy side for us. And then we start to clear out into the evening hours. So I don't anticipate any huge snarls. If you're flying back, obviously, if you're driving on this, could be a little slippery out there. But I would just keep that in mind as you're heading to the airport, because we don't need anything else to slow us down. Let's talk about Pittsburgh. 48 is our average high. And you see that we are kind of jumping above and below that Mondays when we get down to 36. And we're below average on snowfall by 1.6 inches. So we could use a little snowfall here into Pittsburgh. We're going to get rain, not snow necessarily. D.C., 56 is our average high. We're right at average today with the sunshine. We dip below and we stay below all the way through our Monday forecast. And a quick look here at Boston, showing the rain coming in for our Monday morning. Reynolds.
Okay, thanks.
They are. The 97th Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will kick off in just hours in Manhattan. The weather for the iconic parade will be sunny and mild. Light winds can add an extra chill to folks lining the streets and to the larger-than-life balloons. We're taking you through the scientific secrets that make Snoopy and SpongeBob defy gravity. Well, at 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time, we're going to go to New York City for a Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade preview with our friend, NBC's Jay Gray. He will join us live with a look just minutes before the parade kicks off. We love Jay. He's always a fun one to have on air. All right, so here's a look at our forecast. Now, 5 to 10 mile-an-hour winds, but I was just looking at the forecast, and we could see some gusts up to 20 miles an hour. So you've got to keep that in mind. And remember, you have all these tall buildings and the air is getting squeezed in between them. So here's our forecast. JFK, that's a little bit out of the city at 30 miles an hour, but still in the area. We do have some gusty winds here and there. And as the parade kicks off, it's still a little bit on the breezy side. So that wind chill is going to be out there. And through the day, we could have some gusty weather. So what does that mean? Well, we want to talk about the Venturi effect. This is when you have air that's blowing along, and then it runs into buildings, and the air has to get squeezed into between the buildings, and it accelerates. I think the easiest way to think about this, if you have a hose, and the water's just coming out, and then you put your finger on it, and the water comes out faster. I think that's the best way to visualize what's happening with the wind as it's getting, it's coming along, has all this space, and then it has to get pushed in between these buildings. And when it does it, it accelerates just like the water outside the hose. So, if you've ever been to New York City and you're walking down a block, an avenue, and you turn the corner, you get smacked with some winds, more than likely you're getting the Venturi effect here, and it can really blow. So that's just something to keep in mind. This 52 Reynolds, especially this morning, is going to feel a little bit cooler than that.
Yes, indeed. Hey, let's...
What's your turkey wobble, Lynette?
I don't know.
Don't do it.
That's over to you.
Next hour, Lynette.
There we go.
All right, let's have a look at our weather here into the Northeast today. A few lingering clouds and showers, but for the most part, it's gorgeous. I mean, could you ask for a better Thanksgiving than this? Just phenomenal with a lot of sunshine here, and our temperature is mild. Airports are going to be good to go. Yesterday was hectic at the airports. The day before was hectic at the airports. Tomorrow, if you are traveling back, you're just maybe staying for a day or two. No problems on the roads. The only thing you have to remember here are your sunglasses. And the airports are going to be green means go across the board for us. How about in the Midwest? Listen, overall, here's the thing. Thanksgiving is looking fantastic weather-wise. I don't know about, the mac and cheese. I know that's controversial Thanksgiving side dish. Do you or don't you? And how do you cook it and who cooks it? It can be very controversial. But the weather, not controversial today. Loads of sunshine tomorrow as well, 75, 70. I mean, if you're feeling, little hot out there, you could put the top down, put the windows down, and enjoy that nice little chill in the air. But no issues. Detroit, Milwaukee, Kansas City, St. Louis, you're really good to go. In the South, a little bit of a different story here. We do have a few showers, but for the most part, beautiful weather. Of course, down into South Florida, you're still feeling those 80s and that humidity. But tomorrow, we do get, the potential for a few more showers. So, listen, today, I don't think you're going to have delays at these two airports. That's just my opinion. Our computer wants to tell you you're going to have delays because there's a few raindrops. But there's so few planes in the air and so few people traveling. I don't think the weather is going to be an issue. There are some of your showers coming into South Florida as we head into tomorrow, even up towards Jacksonville, too. But it is loads of sunshine. If you want to maybe do a little hiking, go outside, play a little football. It is rivalry weekend. I say that really slowly. Rivalry weekend. We need to come up with a different word, because can anyone say that quickly?
Rivalry weekend. You can't. You have to savor it the way you say it. You can't just blast right through it.
Yeah. Rivalry weekend. I still even want to do it slow. It's hard. So tomorrow, again, I'm not convinced we're going to have too many issues at the airports here because you don't have loads and loads of people traveling. Birmingham to Atlanta. And saying Friday is when a lot of people will be doing this trip here along 20, estimated 4 hours. Really? Huh. All right, fine. I'll take their word for it. What do I know? But Reynolds, I'm pretty surprised by that.
Yeah.
Friday at 5 p.m., 4 hours to go.
It's a haul. I can take that.
Is it only a couple hours though?
Made that drive a
2.5
million
hours
times. It can get really. Near Talladega, it slows down for whatever reason.
Oh, really?
I have no idea why, but it always seems to.
Everyone's shaking and baking out there.
Oh yeah. When you have the holiday dinner, do you feel compelled to try everything out of kindness?
Of course. Well, and you should just try everything once. Okay, maybe not everything.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about Thanksgiving dinner.
I had a family member, not naming names or anything, he used to make like this half-dome gelatin thing that had grapes and cheese and eggs in it.
That's an old school thing. I'd have to pass on that.
Why are you the way that you are?
Yeah.
I mean, these are just questions you have.
That's an old school thing. As a kid, there was a lot of gelatin stuff with stuff in it.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, you need a distraction? Check out the snow.
Driving a car covered in snow can be extremely dangerous, so unsafe that many states will fine you if you don't accomplish this chore. Not only can snow and ice obscure your line of sight, it can go airborne and essentially become a flying missile. Meteorologist Jen Carfagno shows us. That is definitely some good advice there, Jen. And we are going to have snow coming down in Kansas. It is going to spread along I-70 and down 35. You'll finally run into rain into Oklahoma City, though we could change over to snow on the backside of the system as this whole trough digs eastbound here and brings with it the messy weather. So this could slow down our travel on Saturday and Sunday. So, you know, let's all try to remind ourselves how the rules of the road work. If you're going slow, get all the way over in the right-hand lane. You don't want to just be oblivious to everyone driving in the left-hand lane. I mean, just be aware of your surroundings, and if everybody's passing you, that means it's time to scoot your booty over, use our signals. Oh, also thank somebody when they let you into a line. Recently, I feel like no one's done the old arm out the window or in the rearview mirror area. They just cut over. No one cares anymore. We need to get better about caring about each other. 5 to 8 inches here into Kansas, and then as it goes east, we lose some of that moisture, so we won't see as much snow falling. But it will still be there. The good news is I don't think it'll slow us too much down at the airports here. But remember, less than 2 inches of snow is when we have the most accidents, Reynolds. So that's what we really have to be careful about on the road.
Good reminder, by the way, a little bit of kindness goes a long way.
Yeah.
Always does, especially at this time of year. Well,
national forecast is just for a split second was right to the left of that rainbow there. The East Coast, you're going to be seeing all sorts of sunshine. Now, by the way, speaking of colors, we had a NASA scientist here who was a sun expert, and I was always told that the sun was white, even though we show it as yellow on our maps. It is white, and I said, is the sun really white? Because recently I heard that it might be green. Long story short, there's a spectrum of colors, and he was saying that there's this tiny little spectrum of green. That's the brightest color in the spectrum, so technically it's green, but it's also white because our eyes can't decipher that green. Long story short. And then I asked him, I haven't got a response yet, the green flash we see from the sun, is that us actually seeing the true color of the sun? Still waiting for a response on that. Anyhow, if you're going to be traveling, you're going to see a lot of green at the airports. Green mean go. And as we work through tomorrow, Florida, a little rain for you. And then we see some snow dropping down in the Four Corners. And that's what's going to make a mess of the rest of the country over the coming days. I don't think we'll see too many issues, hopefully, at the airports because it's not this like massive blockbuster storm, so it might just slow us down a little. I think the roads could be a bigger problem because people are like, oh, it's just, you know, a little bit of snow, and then they'll speed along, Reynolds, and that's when we could run into the problems.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
or into the Midwest, where our temperatures are going to be dropping significantly. Happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at the Weather Channel to you and all that you love. We are cooking up everything you need to know for your family fun holiday activities today, but it won't be all pumpkin spice and everything nice. Newly named Winter Storm Kate looking for a seat at the dinner table. Look at all the snow that is set to roll into the Rockies, and even, by the way, out into the plains. We could see a foot, maybe 2 feet in the coming days. And just like that, just like that spread, we are putting out, we can't forget, the main dish, topping off our holiday tradition. That's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. We're going to have a live report from there coming up in just a few minutes. And they did last night inflate all of the balloons, Lynette, and the night before the parade, you actually can go and walk and see all the balloons really low on the ground. It's really cool to do.
That is really cool to do. Have you ever gone to the Macy's?
Some leftovers. You can do pies, you can do cakes, you can do turkey, anything that's solid. If it's liquid like gravy, just make sure you freeze it. It has to be fully, fully, fully solid. I've taken stuff with ice and packed it in and dumped the ice right when it was going to go through the conveyor belt, because it can get through if it's frozen solid, the gravy. They're probably going to swab it, but it can still get through. What else is going to get through? The snow. It's going to get through the atmosphere here, and it's not going to melt. It will land on the ground. Phenomenal news for the ski resorts. I was looking up a lot of resorts yesterday out here, and there are several that are either opening today or they're already open, but they only have a few runs available. So keep that in mind, that it could be busy out there with a lot of people just wanting to get out on the slopes and do a little skiing. What is the recipe for snow? Cold air and moisture, and we've got that. And this is the pretty looking jet stream where you can see it coming down. We have this huge trough, and all of this is going to push eastbound. I say that because now I want to show you the water vapor. Not as pretty looking, and to the untrained eye, it's a little bit tough to see what's going on here, but you can kind of see that jet dropping down right there. You see the clouds kind of coming down. There's your jet dropping down, and then you have it coming up and over this way, and we have our big trough that you see is coming into the west. So that is our jet, and that is our messy weather, and that's why once it continues to swing east, we're going to see more snow. It is going to spread down I-80 into 70. It's going to go southbound on 15 and 25. A lot of places actually need the snow out here, so we'll take it. And obviously great for the ski season that is ahead. And then this is all going to be making its way into the plains and eventually all the way to the East Coast. So keep that in mind. What's happening in the west is going to be swinging eastbound. So overall, we're talking 1-2 feet of snow, and then our temperatures, woof, they are going to be frigid. Not just cold, frigid. Have a look at Denver. 39 degrees today. Our average high is 50. We'll be half that as we head into tomorrow morning, and tomorrow afternoon, 26 degrees. We should be double that for our high this time of year. So that gives you an idea of how chilly this air mass is. And then we get even colder into our Saturday morning. And it's not just in the west. This is going to be spreading all the way into the northeast as well. So Reynolds, at least it's finally going to feel like the holidays, feel like fall, feel like we're heading into winter, which has just been so warm lately.
Oh, no doubt about it. If you're one of those people that like...
Family gets together and puts all the decorations up for whatever you're celebrating. I know there's a lot of traditions that kick in right now. And I also understand that a lot of people, this is kind of the worst time of the year. It's really hard to get through this time of the year. So trust me, I feel you. I get it. I feel you. We're going to make it, though. We're going to get through it here. Here's where we are going to see the rain Saturday and Sunday. Snow in the Midwest, rain all the way down to the Gulf Coast. This whole system is going to be shifting east. So that means as we head into our Sunday, Monday, we're going to have some disturbances here that are going to be a little on the gnarly side. I don't think it'll be too terrible if you look at our forecast. I mean, a lot of snow is not going to accumulate. So it's going to be more of a visibility issue, or maybe if you're driving on the roads and those are a little bit slick, that's where we could run into some of those problems, because both models have just really light stuff for us. When does it all come in? Sunday morning, no problems. You're good to go. We will see the snow and the rain, basically both these systems coming together, especially as we head into the evening hours and then moving on into Sunday evening. It really is hammering down. But that's okay, right? Because we're all back at home, hopefully at that point, or maybe you're coming back Monday, kids heading back to school, everyone's unpacking, kind of staying in the house. You've just had all this family time, and essentially you just want your alone time. Right? That you just want to have your alone time and you don't want to deal with anybody, and that's what you can do here. So there's our rain and our snow. Pittsburgh, let's have a look. Can you guys scroll back a little bit for my notes in there? Pittsburgh, Sunday, we will see the rain, 48 degrees. We need the snow. We're 1.6 inches below average. Our average high is 48. We're kind of above and below that. Monday, though, we're almost 10 degrees below that. D.C., we haven't had any snow. We don't typically get it this time of year. 56 is our average high. We are going to be below that as we head really for the extended period. And Boston, we're about a half inch below average, Reynolds, but That's nothing. It's rain for us here on Monday. All we need is one big storm, and we could see a lot of it in Boston. We haven't had one in a while. It's been a minute. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will kick off in just hours in Manhattan. The weather for the iconic parade will be sunny and mild, but some light winds can add a little extra chill to people lining the streets and to the larger-than-life balloons. We are taking you through the scientific secrets that make Snoopy and SpongeBob defy gravity. That is quite impressive there. At 8:20 a.m. Eastern Time, we're going to go live to New York City for a Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade preview with NBC's Jay Gray. And the parade, it's getting ready. You can see everyone here getting prepared for the start of the parade. And, of course, this is where all of the dancers do their dancing and stuff and stop. All right, the winds could be a little problematic. They are gusting over 20 miles an hour, and that's really the only issue we'll have today. They're below the threshold, though. I think it's like 35 miles an hour where they have to lower the balloons and whatnot. But it will still be breezy out there, so a little bit of a wind chill for you. And if you think about all the streets that the balloons are going down and weaving through, we have something called the Venturi effect. And essentially, if you have a bunch of wind in space, it has a lot of area to spread out here. But the second it hits these buildings, it has to squeeze in between these buildings, and it's accelerating. So you can think about a hose. You have the water coming out of it. You put your thumb over the end of it, and the water really accelerates. That's essentially what is happening here in a way you can think about it. So think about when you're in New York, all of a sudden you come around a corner and you get smacked with some of that wind. That is what you're going to be dealing with. So the forecast today, a lot of sunshine. Again, the wind is the only thing that we really have to be concerned about here. Reynolds.
All right, Steph, we wanted to be.
And it's literally just like pastries. It is like this big of pastries. Everyone bought in like some sort of pumpkin pie thing, croissants, muffins. So we're starting off the day already. We are just diving right in here at the Weather Channel. Sunshine for us up and down the I-95 corridor, the megalopolis. I've heard I-95 called East Coast's Main Street, because it goes from Maine all the way down into Florida, where we will get some showers over the next couple of days. The rest of the country is pretty quiet. Okay, a few clouds, maybe a few showers here into upstate New York, but otherwise, green mean go at the airport, no problems there. Tomorrow, still looking lovely in the northeast, but enjoy the beautiful temperatures here while we've got them, because things will be changing. We're still no problems if you're maybe trying to beat that rush home on Sunday, leaving on Friday or Saturday. You're going to be good to go. The Midwest, we are quiet and warm. And I'm saying we're warm because there's much cooler air that is going to be heading our way, so things will really drop in temperature. But of course, if you're flying from the south, Texas, Louisiana, any of those areas, Mississippi, up to the Midwest this time of year, you're like, this is plenty cold. This is freezing, right? You're not used to the temperatures. But look at tomorrow dropping down even into the mid-30s. But thankfully, there's the sunshine. So it'll feel like it's in the 40s, and then the airport should be easy breezy as we head into tomorrow. Down into the south, we do have a few showers. New Orleans on into San Antonio. Florida, you're dry today. Tomorrow, though, there will be some clouds that will come in. I'm not convinced today that you're going to have really any issues at the airports, because there's just so few flights taking off and the rain isn't that heavy. I don't think we'll have too many problems if there are any at all. But there it is, South Florida and the first coast. Maybe a few showers. If not, you'll just have the cloud cover for tomorrow. But of course, it is rivalry weekend, to really enunciate that one with my mouth. So a lot of people will just be hanging in and watching some football. And let's see, there's Auburn in Alabama.
Yes, indeed.
Who are they playing tomorrow?
Alabama? The Alabama-Auburn game is actually on Saturday.
Auburn.
It's on Saturday.
It's on Saturday.
Yeah,
right.
in Jordan Hare Stadium.
Tomorrow is not Saturday. Tomorrow is Friday.
Hey, we're on the holidays. It's easy to get things kind of scrambled.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your turn, Reynolds.
It is?
Driving a car covered in snow can be extremely dangerous, so unsafe that many states will fine you if you don't accomplish this chore. Not only can snow and ice obscure your line of sight, it can go airborne and essentially become a flying missile. Meteorologist Jen Carfagno shows us. That is definitely some good advice there, Jen. And we are going to have snow coming down in Kansas. It is going to spread along I-70 and down 35. You'll finally run into rain into Oklahoma City, though we could change over to snow on the backside of the system as this whole trough digs eastbound here and brings with it the messy weather. So this could slow down our travel on Saturday and Sunday. So, let's all try to remind ourselves how the rules of the road work. If you're going slow, get all the way over in the right-hand lane. You don't want to just be oblivious to everyone driving in the left-hand lane. I mean, just be aware of your surroundings, and if everybody's passing you, that means it's time to scoot your booty over, use our signals. Oh, also thank somebody when they let you into a line. Recently, I feel like no one's done the old arm out the window or in the rearview mirror area. They just cut over, no one cares anymore. We need to get better about caring about each other. 5 to 8 inches here into Kansas, and then as it goes east, we lose some of that moisture, so we won't see as much snow falling, but it will still be there. The good news is I don't think it'll slow us too much down at the airports here, but remember, less than 2 inches of snow is when we have the most accidents, Reynolds, so that's what we really have to be careful about on the road.
Good reminder, by the way, a little bit of kindness goes a long way.
Yeah.
Always does, especially at this time of year. Well,
look at a tail right up like that, too, you know? Can they use their tail, like, to swing on things, or no?
Prehensile tail? I don't think so.
It was awfully long. I feel like it should be used for swinging on things. All right, well, maybe you're swinging your way over to your friends, your in-laws, your parents, wherever you're going, you're going to see a lot of sunshine, or maybe you have nowhere to go today. I've been there. I get it. Today can be a tough day, so just do what you got to do to get through the day. Read, maybe watch some shows, hang with us. We'll be here all day on the Weather Channel. You can hang with us. You can be our family for the day. Sunshine along the I-95 corridor. I don't think we're going to have too many problems here at the airports. Even at Salt Lake City, I know it's red. That's for the weather. But there's just so few people traveling, so few planes in the air. It shouldn't be too bad. Tomorrow, that snow is going to drop into the Four Corners. We'll see a little energy coming over Florida, bringing some clouds and showers. That sticks around into our Saturday as well. And then we really follow this system across the country. See how it spreads out Saturday right through the plains. And then it's going to go all the way to the East Coast as we head into our Sunday and our Monday. As we head into our Saturday, though, Reynolds, people are going to start that travel time home Sunday.
Heck yeah, they are.
Be a little messy from the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast.
All right, Steph, you have to choose
a fried turkey because I hear they're the juiciest.
Huh. Not me. Smoked turkey every day.
Happy Thanksgiving. We are cooking up everything you need to know for all of your family fun holiday activities today. But it won't be all pumpkin and spice and everything nice. Newly named Winter Storm Kate, looking for a seat at the dinner table. Look at all this snow. Anywhere from the Rockies all the way into the plains. We could see a foot or more, 2 feet here as we go into southern Colorado. And just like that spread we are putting out here of snow, we can't forget the main dish topping off our holiday tradition, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade into New York. Everyone's getting ready for that. We're going to have a live report coming up from the parade route. Well, welcome into America's Morning Headquarters. I'm meteorologist Stephanie Abrams alongside meteorologist Reynolds Wolf and Lynette Charles. Lynette, let's get right to where we are going to see the sunshine versus snow for you and show you all the advisories we have. They stretch from the plains back through the Rockies into the Four Corners. The heaviest snow will be southern Colorado, also into Wyoming, but a nice 5 to 8 spreading out into portions of Nebraska. So the recipe for snow, cold air and moisture. That's what you need, and that's what we got. Big high pressure bringing us the cold air, and then here is our low. This is our lift, and also this jet is providing some of that moisture for us. So all of this is going to be sliding east. You have your jet stream dropping down. Here's our trough, and then you can see the moisture that's getting tossed into this area as well. Zooming in to the snow right now, a little bit in Jackson, a little bit in Billings. So you have a white Thanksgiving there. 30s and 20s across the board, so not too freezing, especially relative to what we're about to get. Prepare yourself because it's going to get a lot snowier and it's going to get a lot colder before it gets better. So the snow will be driving down 15, 25, crossing over 80 and 70. Phenomenal news for all the ski resorts opening today or this weekend. I was checking several yesterday, and there was like a few runs that were open. Not every run is open yet. We just haven't had enough. It's been so warm. It's nice that it's finally cold and feeling like the holidays for us here. But a couple of feet is what we could see when all is said and done. But look at the temperatures. I think this will be the big story. 20 to 30 degrees below average. Denver, just an idea of how it's, feeling in the area. 39. That is what our high will be today. As we head overnight, dropping into the teens, even single digits. As we look closer to the border, our average high in Denver is 50. Tomorrow, we're only at 26. We're half of where we should be this time of year. So that just tells you how cold it is. Gets even colder as we head into our Saturday morning into Denver, Cheyenne, Casper, single digits, and into the teens for a lot of us. And by the way, this cold air is spreading through the northern tier. So be prepared, Reynolds, because it's getting closer to winter.
Absolutely.
Hey, it's always easy breezy.
It's unbelievable. And depending on what.
Essentially, the big system that we've all been talking about is going to be rolling its way eastbound. So Saturday, Sunday into Monday, it's the center of the country all the way to the East Coast. So yeah, it might be a little bit slower getting home with some of this rain, but it's nothing too terrible. So I just don't think that we're going to have major delays due to the weather. Maybe visibility could take it down a little bit. But I mean, look at the snowfall here. Both of the models having 1 to 3, not a lot, even maybe 3 to 5 in upstate New York, but nothing that should be really awful. Watch everything kind of come together Sunday afternoon. We'll start to see the rain, that snow coming in into Sunday evening. It gets thicker as we head into the evening hours, but hopefully you're home by this time, unpacking, getting ready to start the week. Then everyone goes into, you know, the other holiday gear that we have here. And then into our Monday morning. It's still kind of lingering, so it could be a bit messy. Boston could be a little bit slow for any of the travel that's happening there, but the storm will eventually pull out and we clear out again. So nothing huge, monstrous storm, but enough to kind of especially slow things down on the roads there. How about Pittsburgh? We could use some snow. We're over 1.5 inches below average. 48 is our average high. We dip below that the next couple of days, and then Monday, there's that colder air really coming in for us. 37 degrees with some afternoon clouds and some rain on Sunday. D.C., we don't typically get snow this time of year. 56, we will be essentially below that with some rain as we head into our Sunday. And then as we work our way into Boston, our average high is 49. We're 1/2 inch below average on snow, but we know it only takes one big nor'easter to make us, 30 inches above average. Boston will see a lot of sunshine. Monday morning, though, that's when we're talking about that system really could be cranking there into Massachusetts and giving us some rain and some messy weather. But we have sunshine, just a phenomenal Thanksgiving weekend here, Reynolds. And of course, there's a lot of football that will be happening this weekend.
Oh, that is.
It's here, the 97th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. More than 3 million people will fill the streets of Manhattan to be dazzled by the high-flying, larger-than-life balloons. For the first time, the parade will begin half an hour earlier than the previous years, so it's beginning in just minutes. Joining us live from the parade route is one of our faves, NBC's Jay Gray. Jay, happy Thanksgiving on behalf of all of us here to you there. You're in the spot for the day, but let's talk about the weather. After the Northeast had months of soggy weather, perfect day for the parade. Little wind, though.
Unbelievable. Steph, happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody. And look.
So don't worry. Where would you say is this best spot to view the parade if maybe you're last minute trying to get down there and see it? That go right into Columbus Circle, too, so it's easy to hop on the train. Though I did see a lot of performers squeezed onto the trains this morning trying to get to the All right, maybe you're going to be traveling back from Thanksgiving over the next couple of days. You'll be driving or flying, and you want to have some of those leftovers with you. Well, if you're traveling on the roads, obviously it's no problem. You just have a cooler, you pack it all in, you're good to go. And really, it will be beautiful weather today if you're headed over to somebody's house. And if you're not, that's okay, too. Try not to get too down on yourself in the situation. I know it can be very hard. Trust me, been there. I get it. So you just keep yourself busy if you can. Binge a show, read a book. Keep yourself active. I find that's the best thing that you can do. Tomorrow, if you are traveling back via the roads, we're fine in the Northeast. The airport should also be okay. But if you do have leftovers, they have to be solid. You can bring cakes and pies, but if there's any sort of gravy and maybe you get a big vat of it, well, freeze it and then make sure it's frozen solid as you go through security. I've done that before with juices. I've frozen them solid, and as long as they're frozen solid, there was one they made me throw out because there was a little bit of it melted. So I learned and kept the ice in the bag until I was right there, and then dumped the ice out, and it went through, and they just swab it, and it was fine. So. No, they use that little thing on the outside, and
the outside of it. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Put it in the little machine.
Okay.
Yeah, get it.
I mean, just thinking.
Listen, I guess it depends on who you get, when you're going through. If Reynolds was a TSA officer,
of course,
he would just confiscate all the leftovers and bring them home, I have a feeling.
Absolutely.
Today, we are going to see green means go in the Midwest. Tomorrow, the same as well. Temperatures will be cooling off, though, so keep that in mind. No issues here in the south, though. A little bit of rain along I-10 today. Tomorrow, it's going to get into places like Florida, so watch out for that. I really don't think airports are going to be a problem because so few people fly today, but there are your showers into Florida and your clouds into South Florida and also here around Jacksonville. Tomorrow, I don't know that this is going to slow us down too much, maybe a little, but I know that a lot of people will start going. And you guys, I set an alarm to check this on Friday at 5 p.m. to see if it really is going to take. This is usually a 2-hour drive, 2-hour and 10-minute drive or so. So they're saying it's going to take twice that. So Reynolds, I'm just curious. So I want to see what that drive's going to be.
Well, I've taken the drive a million times. There's a Buc-ee's that is at the Leeds exit, and that's a busy place. Leeds is busy. Pell City's busy. But yeah, I used to take that to go visit my parents and drive back. My blood type was basically turkey gravy. It was so good. Special times, fine memories.
Driving a car covered in snow can be extremely dangerous, so unsafe that many states will fine you if you don't accomplish this chore. Not only can snow and ice obscure your line of sight, it can go airborne and essentially become a flying missile. Meteorologist Jen Carfagno shows us. That is definitely some good advice there, Jen. And we are going to have snow coming down in Kansas. It is going to spread along I-70 and down 35. You'll finally run into rain into Oklahoma City, though we could change over to snow on the backside of the system as this whole trough digs eastbound here and brings with it the messy weather. So this could slow down our travel on Saturday and Sunday. So, let's all try to remind ourselves how the rules of the road work. If you're going slow, get all the way over in the right-hand lane. You don't want to just be oblivious to everyone driving in the left-hand lane. I mean, just be aware of your surroundings, and if everybody's passing you, that means it's time to scoot your booty over, use our signals. Oh, also thank somebody when they let you into a line. Recently, I feel like no one's done the old arm out the window or in the rearview mirror area. They just cut over, no one cares anymore. We need to get better about caring about each other. 5 to 8 inches here into Kansas, and then as it goes east, we lose some of that moisture, so we won't see as much snow falling, but it will still be there. The good news is I don't think it'll slow us too much down at the airports here, but remember, less than 2 inches of snow is when we have the most accidents, Reynolds, so that's what we really have to be careful about on the road.
Good reminder, by the way, a little bit of kindness goes a long way.
Yeah.
Always does, especially this time of year. Well, next
on to Orlando, all the way up into the Northeast. Everywhere it's really nice, the exception of Louisiana, Texas coast, and also up into the west. And this is actually going to be our next weather maker that's going to dive south and make its way all the way to the East Coast here. So let's show you today. Yes, could there potentially be some delays where we have some of this weather? Absolutely, but it is Thanksgiving Day, not a lot of people traveling, so I don't anticipate too many issues at the airport. We, of course, change the colors of the airports because there's weather. That's why, and so I don't think our computer is taking into consideration what's happening when there's not a lot of people there and it's an actual holiday. Tomorrow, some showers coming into Florida, and you can see that our snow drops a little bit farther south, and it will continue to do so. On Saturday into Sunday, maybe we'll see a few more issues. Probably on the road, we could see some problems here, especially along 35. But otherwise, I mean, it's beautiful. Saturday, you might be having a sandwich. We've got a snow and rain sandwich. You might be doing the turkey and cranberry with beautiful skies here on either side of that. And a lot of people will start to travel back on Saturday. So maybe some delays in the center of the country if your plane is coming from the center of the country. And then Sunday, when there's a big travel day, we do have the rain, we do have the snow, so that could slow things down a little bit here. But it's not like this is massive, storm like cranking everything out. And so it might be a little bit slower, but I'm hoping that we don't have horrific delays, because in Chicago it's like 1 to 3 inches, which we can handle. Monday, everything kind of starts to clear out here and is looking a lot better as we all head back to work and get ready for the rest of the holiday season here. Christmas, Hanukkah coming up. Boston could have some slowdowns here on Monday, Reynolds, with visibility, and the winds will be a little bit breezy too.
Yes, indeed. Hey, what about other